So we're going to go back in terms of budget, and we're going to go back to 100,000 coins, the best players in each position and who you should buy. We are on now a different sort of level of teams, and I must admit, when looking through a lot of these, there is a lot of evolutions that could do better, so we are going to talk about a few of them as we go through. Goalkeepers are pretty standard. Anything under 100k, literally the only thing you take out is icons. There is very little, and maybe an informed Ter Stegen. I'd still go with the same if you've ever watched these videos before. Courtois is my number one, naturally. Alisson is pretty much in the front runner for Team of the Year goalkeeper, so that is someone to look after anyway. But I do think if I was going for any of these goalkeepers, Courtois would probably be one. I'd then say Alisson, Ederson, Dudek, maybe even a cheeky Ter Stegen in fourth there, or fifth in fact, and then I'd probably go Pope, Donnarumma, Mignan, but it is a standard for keepers. Now into the centre backs, again very much like we've seen before, not necessarily many that I would say are going to be number one. There is one solid one throughout any budget, and that has got to be Gold VVD. He is a must in anybody's team. If you've got a higher version of him, fantastic. If you don't have him, get him. 90,000 coins and he will last you so long. I don't know if he's going to be Team of the Year defender, but if he is, that again will still just be the best defender you can physically get that is still playing. Other defenders that you can get, Sol Campbell definitely in the Thunderstruck really opened my eyes to actually how good he is. This version is a little bit less, but you are paying a considerable amount less compared to a lot of the top end centre backs, and he will still give you a good run for your money. I've thrown Varane in as a very low budget, 7,000. He isn't necessarily going to last too long. He has now got multiple versions you can go with an Inform, a Thunderstruck, and evolutions from the Team of the Week as well. There is lots that you can get with that card, but if you are still looking for absolute minimum value, he still will give you at least something. Anticipate Plus is one of the best playstyle pluses from my previous experience you can have on a centre back. Then the three up here, Gomez has always been quite a nice pacey centre-back. We've tended to seen him a little bit more towards the footy side of stuff, maybe even a cheeky team of the season, but still 86 pace, can play right back as well, I'm pretty sure he could. So again, you've got multiple variants that you can go with him. We have then got our man Simakan. You know what, I said it over and over again, and I knew that I'd get him wrong as soon as he popped up. But again, not a bad centre-back. FC Pro, I believe he was in it this week, I want to say. I don't think he managed to get the upgrade just yet, so we will see, but I'm pretty sure Lodi was the first one, and I can't remember if it was either him or Malin that got the final upgrade, but we will see as we go through, as it doesn't really have anything on the tracker to where we're going next with him. But even now, still a good centre-back. The only thing he's really missing is a playstyle plus, and the variants that you can go a left back and right back with him, which is never going to be a terrible option. And then obviously Arejo's in here. He's got the block playstyle plus, he has got a radioactive card and normally a gold card, but I think for 56,000 he's definitely one of the meta centre backs we have seen throughout FC24 so far. Now you can definitely tell with fullbacks there is a considerable amount more that you can go for. These are, like I say, the lower budget side of stuff. Capdevia just starting off with him, he's 100,000 coins just shy of, but the big thing with him is you can put him into Pep's Legacy to make him a 91. I know that's technically over the budget if you was to count the price of the card and naturally the evolution, but in terms of having him and being able to do that, if you were going to chuck 350 FIFA points on it, then I could kind of seen that a lot worth it more, really. Taking him from an 86 to 91 could be the difference of spending a free 400k left back to literally 99,000. I think he's a phenomenal left back regardless, but definitely that upgrade is going to put him in that spot. Same as Mendy. 7.5k now, still a phenomenal left back. He still will give you everything. He's always been a very meta left back, and it's the first year where we've seen two versions of him way before footies. Normally it's end of the game that Mendy gets the upgrade, but now we've already got two upgrades, but they are very expensive. We have got two of the newer cards as well, which finally we do. We've got Spinazzola. The best thing is we've got double options for him. We've got a right back and also a left back, or technically left wing back, both with the 4-star, 5-star and the 5-star, 4-star, so still very good on both. I would say the right wing back definitely appeals to me more. The fact that he has got that rapid playstyle plus, Block is nice and it definitely will give you something, but I do think if you're looking for a low budget, he's definitely, again, not a terrible option. And to be honest, you have got multiple options because Klaus, still just as good, very, very quick right wing back, and the better option compared to his 88, which is like 280,000 coins compared to a 23k right back. It just makes no sense. Zinchenko, again, not my favourite Prem left back, but he still is in the option if you really wanted to. I don't really dwell too much on him, as to be honest, I did really like Lamptey to start with. He has managed to get himself an upgrade into the winter wildcard, but that one is a little bit more expensive at about 150, and he is a right back instead. We then have Dumfries, we have Balde, we have Mbabu, who's still an SBC available. Whenever I do any of these sort of meta players, I tend to try and stay away from as many SBCs as possible. That's kind of left for the tier list, as naturally, I can't tell you to go buy somebody if you can't go and get him. So it literally is either in a year in review for him if the SBC does go. Otherwise, there's just no way of getting them. And Mukiele, a great right back. Probably more of a standard in comparison to the top end of right backs, but for under 100,000, a 5-star weak foot, decent whipped pass play style plus, which seems to be a little bit of a fan favourite for any sort of right back that is overlapping. You've managed to get that ball in, you've got a tall striker, it works down to the ground easy. If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. Now, mids is where I tend to find the most trouble in terms of finding that midfield that works. A lot of the time when I've seen midfields, it's either icon midfielders, you're looking at your Hullets, your Zidans, especially now they're SBCs, or you do see a decent amount of evolutions, which is nice. There is still a huge variety of high-end, very, very high-priced players, but when it comes to the low end, there's not really anybody that absolutely stands out. A lot of these cards, if we look at them, Talisca can have an evolutions, Rabiot can have an evolutions, Locatelli, I think, could have, but I'm guessing with him. Bonmati has upgrades, Valverde has upgrades, Royce is nice, very cheap, but is a specific role in a cam. Sissoko, I'm definitely holding on to one of these cards because guaranteed that he's going to get an evolutions at some point. The stats definitely lean into that way. You managed to get a weak foot upgrade, a little bit more on the pace, a little bit more on the defending. That's going to be a very nice card. And with the introduction of double playstyle pluses coming in Team of the Years, even if it is a month or so away, that could really boost up the rating of Sissoko. And I don't think he's going to get another card anytime soon. And I kind of think the same for Rui Costa. In terms of the stats, realistically, we're only looking at the passing that we haven't seen an 89 max. We've seen 88 max, so everything else would fall under a category where we have seen an evolution go that high. So I can imagine at some point, these UCL heroes will be able to be put in evolutions. He's definitely not the worst. He's got Tiki Taka Playstyle Plus, which is okay. It's not the greatest, I'm not going to lie. Add a double onto that, maybe incisive pass at the same time. Plus then he's already got the 4-star, which is perfect. Add then an extra boost to a 91 and 92. That's going to be a very nice upgraded card. Same as Rijkaard. I think he's definitely worth the money. In fact, how has he got in the 100k price? I don't know. He was literally, I'm pretty sure he was under, I literally put a max price of 100k, so I don't know, either he's jumped up now or he's literally, well, now it's 138. Didn't it just say 152? Am I going absolutely mad? He definitely was in the 100k price, but what I think has happened is the factor that we have got potentially an evolutions coming for icons. It's kind of just been leaked, so whether he's going to be able to go into it, the stats again suggest he could do, which could make him into that next level, which I think is where that price is jumping. As I literally, yeah, he's coming in now on Xbox crossplay, 83,000. So literally that icon evolution jumping has absolutely spiked the price already. When it comes to the rest of them, if I was to go and pick anybody out of these lot, Valverde would definitely be one of the options. I think he's definitely a very solid card in this year. And then if I was partnering him, depending on where I go, normally I play like 2 centre mids, 1 more defensive, 1 more box to box. It'd be like Valverde and a Rijkaard, or potentially someone like a Rabiot. Maybe having 2 box to boxes could work, but in terms of the midfield, I would say the bigger the price, the better you're going to get in return for the midfield, definitely. Now we are scraping a little bit of a barrel with the wingers. I've always known the wingers to be very expensive. Similar to the strikers, you won't find many absolute top end. You're going to see them for the rest of the game in under 100k. Wingers and strikers are normally the most expensive positions, as they are the vital part of the game, because naturally you need to score, but I'd say you'd need both. It's always to flex a team the whole way through. If you can spend 200k per position, that is going to be better. Technically, if you have a better striker but a solid defense, you could work it out. But when it comes to wingers, they do have good pricing. That being said, we've still got a Salah, which is definitely still viable as an option. Neymar's there as a 5-star skiller. Son's always a decent option. He has got the Finesse Plus, which has been nerfed but is still available. Kvaratskhelia, one of my favourite cards that hopefully will start to upgrade soon. We have got an 89 evolutions from his gold, but again, that's going to cost you a few coins, but he is 57,000 for this 5/5 beauty. Diane, beautiful card, absolutely love every upgrade. Her Thunderstruck is one of the best women cards we've ever played with so far. Naturally, we're going to see a Team of the Year women's. I'm hoping she's available in it, because a 97 version of her is going to be nuts. Malin's definitely in the kind of voting in the public eye at the moment for the fact that you can get him into an 89 evolution if you did the FC Founder upgrade, the FC Founder 2, FC Founder upgrade, and then into Finisher. That looks a phenomenal card nonetheless, so we are going to see some more from Malin, definitely in that evolutions coming soon. I always like Danaki Williams. I think he's always had that pace, taking him from the kind of striking role into the wing, adding a Travella, never a bad option, especially being right-footed. I'm pretty sure coming across goal is brilliant for him, especially with that Travella, and the pace on him is absolutely rapid. Now, one that I'm not necessarily a massive fan of, I think he always gets a very stable upgrade. Like, pace is good, passing's good, dribbling's good, shooting's good. He is a very well statted card, but in terms of kind of end product, I've never been highly regarded of Berardi. But in terms of the Dead Ball Plus, if you don't have that in the team and maybe you want to score more free kicks, he's definitely an option for just 94,000 and definitely going to get an evolution that takes him up into that top end as well. Rodman, another nominee from Team of the Year for the women. She is absolutely phenomenal. The pairing of, what was it? It was Rodman, Swanson, Smith and Morgan. An incredible American attacking four if you want. And if they do manage to get into any of the Team of the Years, that's going to be the next level. We've put Cisco in here. Very pacey winger. Again, the only thing missing out on is a playstyle plus. Whether we see anything upgraded for that, the pace is going to be very hard to get into that evolutions. And the reason why he won't get one straight away, even if, I suppose the only way that you could do it is if he wasn't getting upgraded on the pace, but the problem you've got is if you're going to give him 88 shooting, he's already got the 97 pace, already the 90 dribbling. It's a very hard one to upgrade, so he might not fit into any evolutions for a little bit of time until things catch up, because you got to think he's not necessarily what he upgrades to in terms of rating, but what the stats upgrade into, and definitely with an extra boost in finishing, in any sort of shooting capacity, that could turn him into a very meta card very quickly. And finally, I threw Barnes in it. I really like the card. His actual card's coming in at like 88 price, something like that. The SBC has now gone. I would say going with the Winter Wild card is going to be the better option. It's like half the price, higher rated. But in terms of kind of going into the left wing, that card physically can't be a left wing without changing him in game. And then we have the strikers. We've obviously got a very, very kind of less kind of list at the moment. We've got Kamaro? Yen, I think it's Yen or something like that. Yan, I want to say his name is. He was the other option to the Kolo Muane during the FC Pro Live, and a very good card nonetheless. 20,000 coins, 4-star. It's definitely not the worst card you can get, especially if you add any evolutions to him. He's got that ability, very much like Sissoko. In terms of you've got the pace already, taking that shooting up might not be a bad thing, because naturally we have a lot of strikers already at that top end, so it's not like he would break the card completely. The only thing you would get is if he does go into an evolution, is the price would definitely go up. So if you wanted to chuck one in for 17k, he's definitely not a bad club filler at the moment. We then have Smith, we have Messi, we have Haaland in the golds. I would say they definitely need the upgrade now. Smith definitely is one of the better strikers, which is hilarious to think with Haaland in there. But the problem with Haaland is he's already got that 87 kind of downgrade that's absolutely phenomenal. The beats Haaland was brilliant. So if you've managed to get him, he is always going to be on the list because he costs nothing. If you didn't manage to get him, then Haaland, this is the only one you can get for under 100. I wouldn't say he's necessarily massively worth it, but as a name, he's still going to give you a high rated in your team. Messi, for me, is always about the dribbling. His left stick dribbling is always going to be phenomenal. The centre of gravity being so small, agility, balance, composure, always works for Messi, and it doesn't matter what rating he actually is. Balotelli, another great SBC, let alone the lovely dynamic on him, the Trickster Playstyle Plus, 5-star, 4-star for very minimum amount of coins. I think he's definitely one that you could get in there. 99 dribbling on him, add a Hunter, you've got yourself a very good striker for just 50,000 coins. Same with Barnes, 50,000 coins like we said, an upgrade to the normal Barnes, and he hasn't really lost out on too much. He's gained more shooting, lost a couple of pace, but realistically it's like 2 or 3 pace at the maximum. That isn't going to be worth trying to get the left wing. I would always rather go for this version. And finally, Van Persie, 4-star, 4-star, 89,000 coins, definitely due an upgrade at some point. I don't know whether he's got a Team of the Year yet. Has he got a Team of the Year? I feel like he must have had one at some point. I know he's definitely had Team of the Season, but if he has had a Team of the Year, then potentially we could see the upgrade then. I know Ronaldo's been leaked, Vieira's been leaked, and Ribéry. Whether we see a Van Persie could be the way to cap him off, and definitely would be the upgrade you 100% need in your team.